Welcome to Wessex Garages. Here we have a Kia Sportage. It's the CRDI Eco-Dynamics diesel, metallic silver, 5-door, with daylight running lights and front fog lights. Move around to the front of the car, we'll get a good idea of the stance of the car itself, and you'll see the front fog lights. As I'm moving closely, you can see the daylight running lights that illuminate permanently when the engine is running. So we move around to the side of the car, we get an idea of the way the exterior paintwork complements the design and style of the car, showing off the lines of the car very widely. You'll see the very stylish alloy wheels. As you move round to the rear of the car, note the left-hand fuel filler cap, very handy for queues, seeing as that most cars at petrol stations fill up on the right. The Kia fills up on the left-hand side, very handy this. You'll notice the rear wide opening tailgate. And as we take a look at the rear of the car, we now come in towards the boot itself, which you can see is a very large boot on the Kia. 60/40 split rear seat, complete with a flat low boot floor. Underneath that boot floor is a 4-size spare wheel. There is a roller blind to protect the valuables of the car. And with the 60/40 split seat folded down, the flat low boot floor is a continuous load space and level throughout. 3 lap and diagonal seat belts with ISOFIX and a rear centre armrest, which I'll show you in a second. As we move around to the side of the car, we come around to the interior of the car itself. As you can see, the stylish half leather upholstery. Seen here, the armrest, and this gives you a good idea of the space of this car. As you can see, note the legroom in the rear of the car. The car also boasts a very, very nice panoramic glass roof, which can be seen here. And this has electric blinds, which are controlled by the driver, and this allows you to shut out the lights, or indeed let the light in. They're very heavily smoked, so again, you can see that it doesn't detract from the driving experience or cause any problems with brightness. Just gives the whole car a general feeling of airiness and spaciousness. It's a very nice option there. As we make our way from the rear, we now go towards the front of the car. We'll come across now to electric window switches, which are 4 electric window switches. There's also a lock on it, so it lets the driver control those windows. Central locking and electric mirrors. If you look then into the interior itself, we'll get an idea of those sport seats. They're half leather sport seats. They're very figure hugging. The best way to describe these seats in terms of driving pleasure is that someone described beautifully to me that with sport seats you sit in them rather than on them, and I think that's a perfect description of these. If you look in the car, we get a general idea of the spaciousness of the dashboard. Now I'm going to take a look in at closer look. The car itself, you can see now the mileage this car has done, and displaying the outside temperature. A very hot 28 degrees today. Rev counter to the left, speedo middle, complete with trip computer, and temperature and fuel gauges on the right hand side. So make our way over to the centre console. We'll now see the ready controls, directly in line vision of the driver. It's got a radio CD player, a multitude of speakers giving a fantastic sound. You have Bluetooth, and as you can see the Bluetooth logo indicated here, and this allows you to make and receive phone calls safely from the car and legally, most importantly. The car will pair itself to the radio side, to the telephone, and then you can control your address book and your phone calls from the actual steering wheel, which I'll come through in a second. The car also has obviously air conditioning, as you'd expect, and the very logical controls are placed down here. Very simple, very easy to find, and again illuminated for night vision. Down here the car's got the auxiliary iPod connectivity, allows you to plug an iPod or iPhone or indeed any MP3 player into the actual car. It allows you then to play the music through the speakers. With the iPod and the USB connectivity, this allows you to then control the iPod whilst charging at the same time and control your music from the radio, either from the radio controls itself or from the steering wheel controls, which again I'll show you in a second when we cover the steering wheel. As you know, the Sportage, lots of nice features in here. Cup holders, the driver and passenger, a very spacious front center armrest, As you can see, lots of door pockets. This gives you an idea of the visibility when driving in a Sportage, of the commanding road position you have. As you can see, one of the few cars you can actually see the bonnet of, as you can see here. So again, nice commanding position. This car also has the panoramic roof I mentioned about, and as you can see here, the controls for that are just up here. And literally, at a press of a button, you can open the sunroof itself. And likewise, you can then close it. It's slide, it's also tilt as well. Tilt function, like so, tilts it, and close it again. Job done. So you've got this lovely roof that's panoramic roof. You may not actually want to open the roof itself, you might just want to let air in and let the air conditioner do the work. Or on days like today, there's nothing more pleasurable than driving along by the coast with the sunroof down, back rather, and the windows down, giving the car a very, very sort of continental feel driving it. Now it comes to the dashboard of the car, you see the steering wheel, 3-spoke leather steering wheel, nice sporty steering wheel with a nice grip on it. You've got controls down here which control the volume for the radio. You can use it to go through the presets of the radio stations or indeed CD track, and if you've got your iPod connected into it, go through your iPod list. You've got the mute button here. To the right is the cruise control buttons, and down here, and you see there, is the controls for the radio, the telephone rather, sorry, and the telephone controls here. You make a call by receiving a call like so, and ending the call here. And the one here we can just see is the speech recognition for the address book, so you can actually access your contact by pressing that, and voice recognition to receive that. Now this car can be reserved online. If you go onto the Wessex Garage's website, you can view this car and other Kia Sportages like it. If you reserve the car online, you'll receive £75 off the price. You also may want to get your existing car valued before coming in. You're using the Wessex Garage's online valuation service. It's free to use and very simple, but I would recommend, however, to come in with your part exchange and with all your documents, because then there's a very chance we could actually get more for your car once we see it in the flesh, so to speak. To view other Kias like this, please go to the Wessex Garage's website to see more like this. Thank you.